The world is an equal mixture between good and bad. It's not more swayed towards the bad, it's equal. Now, when I say only good things happen, what I'm referring to is a belief system. And there's just a simple truth, and that truth is that the world is not skewed towards negative events happening. It's equally as good. So why do we as humans, why do our brains always go towards thinking the worst is gonna happen? That it's more likely that something negative would come out of the situation rather than something positive. And the truth is that we're simply afraid of dreaming too big, of thinking amazing things are gonna happen, because just in case something doesn't work out for us, or the odd chance that something actually bad happens, we don't want to prepare ourselves for the best, so we subconsciously actually set ourselves up for failure. Our subconscious mind is actually afraid of getting everything it deserves, of getting more in life. And we don't know this is happening. And the truth is that different belief systems, whether they're conscious or unconscious, how much they truly control our reality and our capacity to receive more out of life. For example, we all want money. But where it becomes an issue is if we have either a conscious or an unconscious limiting belief surrounding money. For example, if you think that money is only for evil people, or if money is the root of all evil, beliefs like that are actually subconsciously telling our minds that we don't want that money, because if we do, something bad is gonna happen. You associate money with something bad happening. Now, this is not just the case for money. This is the case for so many things in life that we want. We normally associate it with something bad. And when you expect something to happen, that is exactly what you're gonna see. So if you think that relationships never last, you have to acknowledge, what are my subconscious beliefs on relationships? Maybe you desire one so badly, but maybe you see that all your friends that are in relationships, they're not happy. So you associate subconsciously being in a relationship with not being happy. So that belief is actually creating a blockage from you getting that relationship that you think you want, but because your subconscious mind is associating it with something negative, you're going to attract either something negative or you're not going to attract a perfect relationship at all. So what this video is about consciously catching those thoughts when they come. Those limiting belief thoughts that everything is skewed towards the negative or expecting the negative. Those are the thoughts that we want to catch, and I'm going to show you guys how to do that in this video. If you guys are not already, please hit that subscribe button down below. It would really help out my new channel. So from this moment on, I want you to catch yourself when you find yourself thinking or saying the following: it's probably not gonna happen. I'm not gonna get my hopes up. I'm not good enough for that person. Why would they like me? Oh, I can't afford it anyway, so. Oh, he's probably lying. Like, I know he says he likes me, but he's lying. So try to catch yourselves when you start to automatically associate something that's gonna happen with the negative. And we all do this. It's the natural response from our ego mind to automatically assume the worst, to sway towards believing that something bad is gonna happen, rather than the equal chance that something actually amazing will come out of this. And the difference between the good and the bad manifesting in our lives is all our mindset. It's our limiting beliefs. So I want you to start to think, maybe what I'm thinking right now is just a belief. It's not a fact. Maybe this is just something that I've accepted because it's just something I've seen, something I've experienced, something I've been told, and maybe that we're not seeing the whole picture. From the limited 5 senses that the humans have, we just don't have that intelligence, that capability to see the connections between everything, to see the bigger picture. But that doesn't mean that we should focus in on the negative things when there's equally as big of a chance that a miracle can happen. So it's honestly really sad that people assume miracles to be on a rare occasion and that there's actually more negativity happening than positivity. No, it's just your focus. What are you focusing on? If you're only focusing on negativity, yeah, you're gonna think the world is a completely negative place. But if you're focusing also on the good, you're being informed, because it's important to be informed, but primarily focusing on all the good that there is will only lead you to living a happier life and to experiencing more positive things happening in your life, because you're aligned on that level. You're aligned to thinking that good things happen, so you're now able to receive good things. And one more thing about that is, don't be afraid to dream big. By being afraid to reach your goals, because you assume that the end is not going to be in reach, you're not even going to try. And what happens when you don't even try? You're right, it's never going to be in reach, because you don't believe that it's going to be in reach. You don't believe there's going to be a positive outcome. Remember that you can only receive what you have the capacity to receive, to ask for even. Okay, so another thing. Let's say you are trying to get a job. Now, instead of anticipating the outcome, questioning, when's it gonna happen? Is it gonna happen? I don't think it's gonna happen. Worrying, doubting, all of that. Instead of expecting, what I would do in this situation, if you're trying to get a job, is I would apply. Okay. If you don't think you're gonna get the job, you're never gonna apply. So obviously, if you're applying to the job, you think there's a possibility that you can get it. So number one step is to apply. Then what I would do is let go of the outcome. Let go of the idea that I either will or won't get the job. Just let go. I'm okay if I do. I'm okay if I don't. Just live in the moment instead of expecting the worst or being in fear. Because what fearing the future does is we're actually living in the future instead of the present moment. We're fearing a situation that has never even come. So no matter what the outcome will be, it will be. So be open that the best outcome for you will unfold in this situation, even if that means maybe you don't get the job. And maybe you don't get that job so that you can now be open to receiving a job that's 10 times better, or maybe it leads you down another path that is so much better for your future than if you were stuck in that job. And obviously there's so many possibilities that could potentially happen, because we're not God. We don't see how everything perfectly aligns, but we need to understand that it always perfectly aligns for what our higher self needs to go through and for where we need to be, how we can be our best selves. And what comes to mind when I think about this is actually a video that Aaron Dowdy made on his channel. I will link it below if I can find it. But the video was about a story of a man, and the man was trying to manifest $100,000, and he said, I'm going to manifest finding $10,000 on the floor sometime this week. So what would happen is every single day when he was riding the train to work and back from work, he would just look for the money on the floor. He would never lift up his eyes because he was so fixated and focused on this one outcome. He didn't let it go. He was so focused on finding the money on the floor because that's what he set his intention on. Then he spoke to his teacher and he told him, I've been manifesting and I've been looking for the $10,000 and I just can't seem to find it anywhere. I'm looking. And the teacher said, well, why are you looking? You need to let go. So as soon as he let go of the outcome of not needing to find the $10,000 on the floor, what happened is one day as he was getting off the train to get to work, he bumped into someone, a businessman, who had an opportunity for him to make upwards of $20,000. So he ended up actually receiving more than he had asked for just because he let go of the outcome and let go of how specific it needed to be. So this shows us that we may have a set goal in mind. Maybe we are so set on receiving this job and this job is what's going to do everything for us. But if we're so fixated on getting this one job, we're actually limiting ourselves to this one job and not seeing and experiencing the world and being open to actually receiving better opportunity. Now, I'm only going to ask of you one thing for this video, and that is for you to stop consuming negative news, negative content, and stop surrounding yourself with negative people. I want you to see how much your life changes once you do those things. And I'll share with you guys what I do on a daily basis to keep my vibration as high as possible. What I do is I keep a circle of positive people in my life. I associate myself with people who make me happy, who make me laugh, who are good friends. I also spend a lot of time reading self-development books, consuming myself with social media content that is inspiring, as well as investing and taking online courses. I journal every single morning, writing down what happened the day before. How do I want this day to unfold? All of these things align me to a high vibrational state, and I see the world mostly as a great, beautiful place. So that is what is reflected back to me. Now, of course, there are some days when I feel like the world can be extremely unfair. I see what's going on outside and I just question, like, how is this reality? How is the world like this? But then I instantly feel that effect in my outer reality. I notice how it lowers my state of being, and I start to attract more negative things towards me. So once I became aware of how much my thoughts were truly creating my experience and what I'm attracting towards me, I really try to limit my consumption of that negative news. It's important to be aware of certain things, but it's also important to not keep yourself there, to not consume yourself with it, and to live in that state of fear, of panic, of what's gonna happen in the future, of bad, negative events always occurring. So be aware of your story. Be aware of where your dominant thoughts are. If they're dominantly thinking of negative things that are happening and constantly frantically searching up the newest negative story on the news, unfortunately that leads you to seeing the world as if it is skewed towards the bad, that it is more unfair than it is fair, and that's just simply not the case. So I wrote down some affirmations that I want to read to you guys, and I want you guys to write these down when negative events happen to you that you can look back on and it can help you get through those times. So the first one is that good things can and do happen to you. Good things are still happening even when you're in the dark. The second one is you have the power within you to switch the narrative. The third one is discover your blocks and limiting beliefs that are stopping you from seeing the good. So I want you to write down, what are your blocks? What are your limiting beliefs? What are the dominant thoughts that you think of when you think of the future? I want you to write those down because the first step is acknowledging that you have them. Number 4 is it's never too late. At any moment, you can switch your thoughts. There is no reason why one moment you feel like you're in the dark, that you can't acknowledge your thoughts, and then 20 minutes later, begin to start seeing the bright side and then manifest that into your life. So this one's really important because oftentimes we think we've gone past the point of no return. But the truth is, even something as simple as writing down I am affirmations or writing down things you're grateful for, you can instantly raise your vibration. You could feel happier from one moment to the next just by doing something that makes you feel good. And number 5 is that challenges are not a bad thing. And it's not a sign that you're doing something wrong. It's actually a chance to level up, to receive more. Your higher self knows what we need to be on a higher level. On this realm, we need to go through challenges to get to where we want to be. Enjoy the process. So yeah, I feel like that one is also a really important one. Oftentimes we think we did something wrong that we have a challenge, but the truth is we didn't do anything wrong. It's just our higher self wanting us to get to a better place. So that's all from me in this video, guys. Thank you so much. I hope you got some value out of it. Please give this video a like and comment down below. I would truly appreciate it. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye.